If I told you that it's possible to transform your body without having to move, what would you think? I know, it seems too good to be true. That's why, in the next few minutes, I'll prove it's possible by showing 6 isometric exercises that will change your entire body. All you'll need to do is follow the instructions and hold certain positions for a few seconds. Okay, I confess that perhaps these few seconds won't pass so quickly, but believe me, it's totally worth it. And the best part, generally, these exercises can be performed anywhere and by anyone, regardless of current age, making them accessible to anyone who wants to improve their physical conditioning. Before we begin, please leave in the comments your name and the city where you're watching our content from. Exercise 6, Hollow Body Hold. The hollow body hold is practically the secret position of elite athletes. You know those Olympic gymnasts with defined abs that look carved in stone? Well, this exercise is one of their secrets. It mainly works the entire anterior chain of the body, abdomen, hip flexors, rectus femoris, and even the scapular stabilizing muscles. You know what's amazing about the hollow body? It not only strengthens your abdomen, but also teaches your body to maintain core stability during any other exercise. This means you'll be strengthening your spine and preventing injuries in every workout you do. It's as if you were building an invisible armor for your spine. I have a friend who suffered from chronic back pain and had tried everything: chiropractic, massage, stretching. Nothing worked long-term. When I introduced the hollow body hold into his routine, the pain began to decrease in just 2 weeks. After 1 month, it practically disappeared. This happens because the hollow body deeply works the stabilizing muscles, those that usually remain dormant with our sedentary lifestyle. When you strengthen these muscles, it's as if you were realigning your entire body, restoring the natural balance between muscle chains. As we often say, it reverses years of damage. To execute correctly, lie on your back on the floor, extend your arms above your head, keep your legs together and extended, and then simultaneously lift your arms, shoulders, head, and legs a few inches from the floor. The crucial part here is pressing your back against the floor, eliminating any space between your lower back and the surface. Think of it as trying to flatten your spine on the floor. This position creates tremendous tension in the core, forcing every muscle fiber in your abdomen to work to maintain stability. You'll know you're doing it right when you feel an intense burning in the abdominal region, especially in the lower part, and when your back is completely pressed against the floor, with no space in the lumbar region. One of the most common mistakes is leaving the lower back arched during the exercise. This not only drastically reduces effectiveness, but can also cause back pain. Another mistake is lifting the legs too high. Remember, we're not doing leg raises, but creating isometric tension in the core. Keep the legs just a few inches above the ground to maximize abdominal work. For beginners, I recommend 3 sets of 20 seconds, resting between 1 and 2 minutes between them. As you progress, gradually increase to 3 sets of 45 seconds. Exercise 5, hanging from a pull-up bar. Now you might be thinking, just hanging from the bar? That's easy. I know it seems simple, but believe me, this is possibly one of the most underestimated and powerful exercises that exist. When you hang from a bar, you're intensely working the entire upper posterior chain, from your fingers, through your forearms, biceps, back, to the scapular stabilizing muscles. This simple exercise can work wonders for shoulder and spine problems. Many of us spend all day sitting, with shoulders curved forward. This exercise is like an antidote to this modern posture, naturally realigning your shoulders and decompressing your spine. In fact, in Eastern cultures, especially in China, hanging from bars is considered therapeutic and has been part of traditional medicine for centuries. In Chinese parks, it's common to see people of all ages hanging from bars as part of their daily health routine. They call it ji jiao, which literally means hanging to heal. And modern science is beginning to confirm what they've known for generations. When you hang from the bar, something called spinal decompression happens. Basically, gravity works in your favor, creating space between the vertebrae that are normally compressed during the day. It's like giving your spine a sigh of relief. Recent studies show that this simple act can temporarily increase height by up to 3 centimeters. This shows how much compression our spine suffers daily. Another surprising benefit is grip strengthening. In a world where almost no one needs to climb trees or carry heavy objects anymore, our grip strength is decreasing generation after generation. This may seem irrelevant, but medical research shows that grip strength is one of the most reliable indicators of longevity and general health. Even setting aside use in gyms, people with strong grips tend to live longer and with better quality of life. To execute correctly, grab the bar with your hands slightly wider than shoulder width, palms facing forward. Now the secret that few know: don't hang passively. Activate your muscles. Slightly pull your shoulders down, away from your ears, as if trying to put your shoulder blades in your back pocket. Keep your core engaged and breathe normally. The most common mistake is simply hanging passively, letting the shoulder joints bear all the weight. This not only reduces benefits but can cause long-term injuries. Another frequent mistake is holding your breath. Continue breathing normally throughout the exercise. For beginners, start with 3 sets of 20 to 30 seconds. If that's too difficult, no problem. Start with 10 seconds and gradually increase. For more advanced, try to reach 3 sets of 60 seconds or more. Exercise 4. Wallsit. Strong and toned legs without expensive equipment. This is a summary of the Wallsit. This exercise intensely works the quadriceps, glutes, and core, while also significantly improving your muscular endurance. It's like building a solid foundation for your entire body. Being an isometric exercise, it strengthens the muscles without impact on the joints, making it perfect for people with knee problems who cannot do traditional squats. Interestingly, the Wallsit has ancient roots in yoga, where it's known as Utkatasana, or chair pose. Yogis have known for millennia about the benefits of this position, not just for the physical body, but also for the mind. When you maintain the Wallsit for prolonged periods, you inevitably face discomfort. And this is where the mental aspect of the exercise comes in. Staying calm and breathing through discomfort during a 2-minute Wallsit is a form of active meditation. You learn to separate the physical sensation of discomfort from your emotional reaction to it. This skill transfers to other aspects of life, from enduring that endless meeting at work to dealing with stressful situations without losing your composure. From a physiological perspective, the Wallsit also has surprising effects on blood circulation. Being a prolonged isometric contraction, it creates what scientists call partial occlusion of blood flow. Basically, blood has difficulty circulating through the muscles that are contracted. This sounds bad, but it's actually extremely beneficial. When you finally relax, blood flow is restored with full force, bringing a flood of nutrients and oxygen to the muscles. This phenomenon, similar to what occurs in advanced techniques, such as occlusion training, stimulates muscle growth even without the use of weights. The Wallsit is also extraordinarily efficient in terms of muscle activation. Electromyography studies show that it activates up to 85% of the muscle fibers in the quadriceps, an impressive number considering there's no movement or additional weight involved. For comparison, many dynamic exercises with weights activate only 60 to 70% of the available muscle fibers. To perform correctly, support your back against a wall and slide down until your knees form an angle of approximately 90 degrees, as if you were sitting in an invisible chair. Feet should be shoulder-width apart and positioned slightly in front of the body, about 12 inches from the wall. Keep your back completely supported on the wall, from the coccyx to the shoulders. A common mistake I observe is placing the feet too close to the wall, which unnecessarily increases pressure on the knees. Another mistake is letting the knees go beyond the line of the toes, which also overloads the joints. For beginners, I recommend 3 sets of 30 seconds, with 60 seconds of rest between them. As your endurance increases, gradually increase to 3 sets of 2 minutes. Yes, 2 minutes. It seems like an eternity when you're in position, but that's where the magic happens. Exercise 3. Isometric push-up. This exercise intensely works the chest, shoulders, triceps, and surprisingly, also your core and even glutes when executed correctly. What many don't know is that the isometric push-up has a solid scientific basis related to the concept of neuromuscular stability. When you maintain a challenging static position, your nervous system is forced to recruit a greater number of motor units to maintain stability. This increased neural recruitment remains active even after the exercise, improving your coordination and strength in other movements. A fascinating study conducted with Olympic gymnasts showed that those who regularly incorporated isometric pauses in their training routines developed better motor control and movement precision than those who performed only dynamic exercises. This translates directly into better performance in virtually any sport or physical activity. The isometric push-up also has an incredible cardiovascular benefit that is rarely mentioned. During a sustained isometric contraction, the pressure inside the muscles increases, temporarily making blood flow difficult. This forces your heart to work harder to pump blood, creating a cardiac stimulus similar to aerobic exercises, but without the impact on joints. A study published in the Journal of Hypertension demonstrated that regular isometric training can reduce blood pressure at levels comparable to, or even higher than conventional aerobic exercises. To execute correctly, position yourself as if you were going to do a traditional push-up, hands positioned slightly wider than shoulder width, fingers pointing forward, body in a straight line from head to heels. Now, instead of going up and down, go down until your elbows form an angle of approximately 90 degrees and maintain that position. The secret here is to keep the body absolutely straight, like a board, activating the core and glutes. The most common mistake I observe is letting the hips drop, which puts unnecessary pressure on the lower back. Another frequent mistake is elevating the hips, transforming the exercise into something more like a pike push-up, which works the shoulders more than the chest. I also see many people positioning their hands too close or too far apart. Each position works different muscles, but for optimal balance, keep your hands slightly wider than your shoulders. For beginners, I recommend 3 sets of 20 seconds in position. If that's too challenging, there's no problem starting with the knees supported on the floor. For more advanced, increase to 3 sets of 45 to 60 seconds. Before we continue to number 2, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Having constant access to correct and science-based information is what will make you progress with long-term health in the world of bodybuilding. Exercise 2. Isometric Superman. If the hollow body works the entire front of the body, the Superman is its perfect complement, focusing on the entire posterior chain. This exercise intensely strengthens the spinal erectors, glutes, posterior shoulders, and lower back muscles. The Superman is especially beneficial for those who spend a lot of time sitting. Many physical therapists recommend versions of this exercise for patients with lower back pain, as it strengthens the deep musculature of the spine in a safe and controlled manner. Additionally, the Superman significantly improves your posture. Have you noticed how professional athletes have that imposing presence when they enter a room? Much of this comes from a strong posterior chain, which keeps the spine naturally erect and the shoulders back. With consistent practice, you'll begin to notice this same postural transformation. To execute correctly is very simple. Just lie face down on the floor, with arms extended above your head and legs extended. Simultaneously, lift the arms, chest, and legs a few inches from the floor, keeping your gaze downward to avoid straining the neck. Besides lifting the head and looking forward, which can cause excessive tension in the neck, another frequent mistake is using momentum to lift the body instead of slowly contracting the back muscles. I also see people lifting their arms and legs too high. Remember, we don't need an exaggerated amplitude, just enough to create tension in the correct muscles. For beginners, I recommend 3 sets of 15 to 20 seconds. As you get stronger, gradually increase to 3 sets of 30 to 45 seconds. An interesting variation is the alternating Superman, where you keep only the opposite arm and leg raised, for example, right arm and left leg, alternating after each set. Exercise 1. Isometric Glute Bridge. This movement not only sculpts strong and defined glutes, but also strengthens the back of the thighs, the lower back, and core. The glute bridge is not just an aesthetic exercise, it's fundamental to the functional health of the body. As much as many men neglect this, strong glutes are essential for virtually any athletic movement, from running to jumping, and are crucial for good posture. Many knee and lower back pains originate from weak and inactive glutes, something this exercise helps correct. Something fascinating about this exercise is that it activates the glutes in a way that few exercises can. Many people have what experts call gluteal amnesia. Literally, your brain has forgotten how to correctly activate these muscles due to a sedentary lifestyle. The isometric bridge reestablishes this neural connection, teaching your brain to recruit these powerful muscles during other exercises and daily activities. Furthermore, this exercise is amazing for improving core and lower back stability. By strengthening the entire posterior chain, you create a solid foundation for any movement, significantly reducing the risk of injuries. Elite athletes incorporate variations of this exercise into their daily routines, not just to improve performance, but also to ensure career longevity. To execute correctly, lie on your back on the floor, knees bent, feet on the floor at hip width, arms extended at the sides of the body. Push your heels against the floor and raise your hips until you form a straight line from shoulders to knees. The secret here is to concentrate the force in the glutes, not in the lower back. Squeeze the glutes at the top of the movement and maintain this position. You'll know you're doing it right when you feel an intense contraction in the glutes, not in the back, and when your knees, hips, and shoulders form a straight line. Breathing should be controlled and constant, without holding air. The most common mistake is not raising the hips enough, which drastically reduces glute activation. Another frequent mistake is excessively arching the lower back, which transfers tension from the glutes to the back. I also see people letting their knees fall inward. Keep them aligned with the hips and ankles for maximum benefit. For beginners, I recommend 3 sets of 30 seconds in the isometric position. For more advanced, increase to 3 sets of 60 to 90 seconds. An interesting progression is to raise one leg from the floor while maintaining the position. This will significantly increase the demand on the glute of the supporting leg. If you liked this and want to further optimize your muscle building, we are now showing on screen a video where we show everything you need to do for your body to optimize muscle building during rest. Be sure to check it out. Thank you for watching this far, and may God bless you, my friend.